Next item on the agenda is appearance by members of the public. County Administrator, do we have any appearances?
We do. We have one request by Zach Gittrich, and he will have 5 minutes to speak. And Zach, to remind you, it's the bottom right button in case you forgot.
Thank you. I just wanted to start this out by saying that I had talked to the chairman a while ago, and I'm paraphrasing, but he expressed how deeply saddened he was that I hadn't been here in a while, so I just wanted that on the record. I'm actually here to talk about a recent court case, the case of Fitzgerald Samedy. Samedy, until recently, was a District 87 school board member and is still, to my knowledge, a Republican precinct committee person. Last year, Samedy was caught driving under the influence of alcohol. Samedy was so drunk he had urinated himself in his pants. This was Samedy's 4th DUI, and he was driving on a suspended license. He refused to take a breathalyzer when prompted by police, which he has a legal obligation to do under Illinois law. When he was presented with a court order signed by a judge to comply with a breathalyzer, he again refused a judge's direct order, earning him an obstructing justice charge on top of 3 other felony counts for aggravated DUI, driving on a suspended license, and DUI while on a suspended license, and a few other misdemeanor charges. To add insult to injury, in a later jailhouse phone call with his wife, he bragged that, and again I'm paraphrasing, he had gotten one over on the police by refusing to follow the law. He also said once in a Cities 92.9 interview prior to his arrest in relation to mask mandates that no school districts or anyone had the right to tell his child what they can or cannot do, implying he and his children are not bound by any law. The aggravated DUI charge has a possible sentence of 3 to 7 years in prison. The driving on a revoked license has a possible sentence of 1 to 6 years in prison, and obstructing justice, disobeying a judge's direct order, has a possible sentence of 1 to 3 years. So what punishment did Mr. Samedy receive when he finally pled guilty to repeated felony crimes and insubordination to authority figures? 30 months probation through Veterans Court. Talk about a sweetheart deal. Our appointed Republican State's Attorney, Erica Reynolds, gave Fitzgerald Samedy, a repeat criminal felon, a sweetheart deal. That's a really good deal. While Mr. Samedy was in custody, he can be heard calling his wife and ordering her to, quote, and this is a direct quote, call the McLean County Republicans and say, come get me. To me, this is evidence of a 2-tier justice system. There's a justice system for the politically well-connected, members of the status quo, and there's a justice system for us peasants. When it's the justice system for peasants, it's all about being tough on crime and law and order and obedience to authority. But when it's for elected officials and or party members, it's a slap on the wrist, even though the perpetrator bragged about how he felt he was getting one over on the cops, the judge, and the state's attorney. And he stated publicly he didn't think laws he doesn't like apply to him. Now, I'm not saying State's Attorney Reynolds gave this person, who could have been sentenced up to 10 years in prison, such a good deal because her and the defendant are of the same political party, or that both are well connected publicly. I'm not saying that at all. I am thinking it very loudly, though. The judge in the case, Judge Charles Feeney, said, quote, 70% of Samedy's diagnosed PTSD is tied to his military service. He served, I believe it was 2006 to 2008. Feeney says, that's huge for me. Allowing Samedy to return to the specialized probation programs serves the ends of justice. Veterans return with mental as well as physical wounds. We should be just as cognizant of the wounds we can't see. Unquote. I actually completely agree with Judge Feeney. I hope State's Attorney Reynolds will prove me wrong that there's a 2-tiered system of justice. I hope she recognizes that many people who come against her office at trial also have wounds that we cannot see. And I hope she offers similar mercy to other regular people who are prosecuted for similar crimes. Thank you so much.